You have $10,000 sitting in your checking account right now, and it's disappearing. Not because someone's stealing it, not because the bank's taking it, because of something far more invisible, far more permanent, something that's been quietly transferring your wealth to someone else while you sleep. This isn't a conspiracy, it's a feature of the system, and most people don't realize it's happening until they look back 10 years later and wonder why their money doesn't go as far as it used to. Let's talk about the silent tax nobody voted for. Picture this. It's January 2020. You decide to be responsible. You save $20,000. You don't invest it, don't gamble with it, don't touch it. You just hold it. Keep it safe. The number in your account stays exactly the same. 5 years later, you still have $20,000. Same number, same account. But here's the problem. That money is now worth about $16,000 in 2020 dollars. $4,000 just vanished. Not from your account, from its purchasing power. You held cash, you did the safe thing, and you got poorer. This is the part they don't teach you in school. That stability is an illusion, that doing nothing is a choice, and that choice has a cost. So what happened? Where did that $4,000 go? Into thin air, redistributed across the entire economy through a mechanism so normal, so accepted, that we barely talk about it anymore. Inflation. But inflation isn't some abstract economic concept. It's not a number on a screen. It's a direct transfer of value from people who hold cash to people who hold assets, from savers to owners, from the cautious to the positioned, and it's accelerating. The average inflation rate in the US over the last century was around 3%. Annoying, but manageable. Your money lost value slowly. You could almost ignore it. But between 2020 and 2024, cumulative inflation hit over 20%. In 4 years, a dollar lost a fifth of its value. If you kept $100,000 in cash, you effectively lost $20,000 in purchasing power. $20,000. And nobody sent you a bill. Nobody asked for permission. It just happened. Here's how it works. When the government prints money, or when the Federal Reserve expands the money supply, more dollars enter circulation, more dollars chasing the same amount of goods and services. Prices go up. Your dollar buys less. The milk that cost $4 now costs $5. The car that cost $30,000 now costs $40. The rent that was $1,500 is now $2,000. But your cash still says the same number. This is the cruel magic trick of inflation. It robs you in plain sight while leaving the evidence untouched. Your account balance doesn't drop, so it doesn't feel like loss. It feels like everything else just got more expensive. But the truth is, everything didn't get more expensive. Your money got cheaper. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but inflation is just a fact of life. What am I supposed to do about it? And that's the exact question that separates people who build wealth from people who watch it erode. Because there's a group of people who don't lose money to inflation. In fact, they benefit from it. People who own assets, real estate, stocks, commodities, businesses. These things don't just sit there like cash. They move with inflation, often ahead of it. If you owned a house worth $300,000 in 2020, it's probably worth $400,000 or more today. You didn't do anything. The asset appreciated, not because the house got better, because the dollar got worse. Same with stocks. The S&P 500 is up over 50% since 2020, partly because companies are doing well, partly because each dollar is worth less, so it takes more dollars to buy the same share. Meanwhile, the person holding cash got 50% poorer in relative terms. This is the hidden redistribution. Wealth flows from cash holders to asset holders, silently, automatically, every single year. Let's zoom out. In 1970, you could buy a new car for around $3,000. A gallon of gas was 36 cents. A median home cost under $25,000. Today, that same car costs $40,000. Gas is $3.50 a gallon. That home is over $400,000. The dollars didn't stay the same. They decayed. If you held $100,000 in cash since 1970, you'd still have $100,000. But in 1970 terms, it would only be worth $15,000. 85% gone. You didn't spend it, you didn't lose it in a bad investment, you just held it, and the system extracted its value year after year, like a slow leak in a tire you never checked. Now here's where it gets darker. Inflation isn't evenly distributed. It doesn't hit everyone the same way.
If you're wealthy, you own assets. Those assets inflate with the currency. You're insulated, maybe even enriched. If you're middle class or below, you probably hold more of your wealth in cash, checking accounts, savings accounts, emergency funds, and those get destroyed. The median savings account in the US right now earns about 0.4% interest. Inflation over the last year was around 3.4%. You're losing 3% a year just by saving responsibly. The system punishes caution, it rewards risk. Or, more accurately, it rewards those who already have enough to take risk. If you're living paycheck to paycheck, you can't afford to lock money into stocks or real estate. You need liquidity, you need cash, and that cash is quietly being devalued while you use it to survive. This isn't a bug, it's the design. But let's be fair, holding some cash makes sense. You need an emergency fund. You need liquidity for short-term expenses. You can't invest every dollar and hope nothing goes wrong. The question isn't whether to hold cash, it's how much and for how long. Because every month that cash sits idle, it's losing value. Not to market risk, not to bad decisions, to time itself. Financial advisors will tell you to keep 3 to 6 months of expenses in cash. Fine, reasonable, but anything beyond that, you're paying an invisible tax, and most people are paying way more than they need to. A 2023 survey found that the average American has over $40,000 sitting in savings accounts. $40,000, earning almost nothing, losing 3 to 4% a year to inflation. Over 10 years, that's a loss of 30 to 40% of its value. $12,000 to $16,000, just gone. And nobody sent you a bill. Nobody asked for permission. It just happened. Here's the irony. Holding cash feels safe. It feels responsible. It feels like you're protecting yourself. But you're not protecting yourself. You're exposing yourself to the one guarantee in modern economies: currency debasement. Because here's what governments do. They spend, they borrow, they print. And when the bill comes due, they don't cut spending, they don't raise taxes enough to cover it, they inflate. They make the debt cheaper by making the currency cheaper. And everyone holding that currency pays the price. It's the most politically convenient form of taxation because it's invisible. There's no line item on your tax return that says inflation tax, but you're paying it every year on every dollar you hold. Now, let's talk about what people do when they realize this. Some panic. They dump all their cash into stocks, crypto, gold, anything that isn't a depreciating dollar. They swing from one extreme to another. Some double down. They convince themselves inflation is temporary, that cash is king, that everything will revert to normal. And some just do nothing. They know it's happening, they see the prices rising, but they don't act, because acting feels risky and doing nothing feels neutral. Except it's not neutral, it's a choice to lose slowly instead of risk losing quickly. So what's the answer? The uncomfortable truth is there's no perfect answer, only trade-offs. You can hold cash and guarantee loss to inflation, or you can invest and accept volatility, risk, and the possibility of larger loss. You can stay liquid and watch your purchasing power erode, or you can lock money into assets and lose flexibility. There's no free lunch, there's no safe harbor. The system is designed to keep money moving, and if you're standing still, you're moving backward. The people who understand this don't hoard cash. They hold enough for immediate needs and deploy the rest into stocks, real estate, businesses, inflation-protected securities, anything that has a chance to keep pace or outrun the devaluation of the dollar. They accept that safety is a myth, that the only way to preserve wealth is to take calculated risk, because doing nothing is the biggest risk of all. And here's the thing nobody wants to admit. This system isn't going to change. Governments need inflation. It makes debt manageable. It keeps economies growing, at least on paper. It allows wages to rise nominally, even if real purchasing power stays flat. Deflation, the opposite of inflation, is terrifying to central banks because deflation means people stop spending, they hoard cash, economies freeze, depressions happen. So inflation is the grease, the mechanism, the release valve. And as long as we're in a system where debt keeps growing, where spending keeps expanding, where printing money is easier than hard choices,
inflation will continue, which means holding cash will continue to make you poorer. Think about this. In 1950, a millionaire was set for life. $1 million could buy you everything: multiple homes, financial security forever. Today, $1 million is a good start. Comfortable, sure, but not generational wealth, not untouchable. What changed? The value of $1 million, because the value of the dollar itself collapsed over 75 years. Now project forward. 75 years from now, what will $1 million buy? What will 100,000 buy? If history is any guide, a lot less than it does today. And the cash you're holding right now will be the ancestor of that future depreciated currency. Every year you wait, every year you hold, you're further from where you started. There's a scene that keeps replaying in financial history. Someone saves their whole life, works hard, sacrifices, builds up a nest egg, 50,000, 100,000, more. And then they retire. And they realize their money doesn't go as far as they thought it would. The future got more expensive while they were saving for it. They did everything right, and they still lost. Not because they were reckless, because they were too cautious, because they held cash in a system designed to erode it. So here's the question you need to ask yourself. How much of your wealth is sitting in cash right now? And how long are you planning to let it sit there? Because every day it sits, it's worth a little less. Every month, a little less. Every year, noticeably less. You're not standing still, you're sinking. The only question is whether you're going to do something about it or whether you're going to keep watching your purchasing power disappear while convincing yourself that you're being responsible. Because here's the final uncomfortable truth. In a world of inflation, cash isn't safe. It's slow poison. And the longer you hold it, the more damage it does.